My skin is so much more moisturized.
See the difference with Olay.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. New tonight on CBS.
Every team needs a leader.
Man down! These guys are everywhere!
I'm that leader.
SEAL Team, next Thursday on CBS.
Beautiful patient fans, we are officially in production.
NCIS returns, part of CBS Premiere Week after Super Bowl 58 on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Cold temps continue to dominate the forecast, but that will likely change soon. I'll tell you when. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, Negaunee City Council votes to rezone a portion of the city's Old Town. A contentious meeting tonight over the 5-acre plot that some residents wanted to keep as public land. Plus, a civil rights activist visits Escanaba, what freedom writer Lou Zuckman told students today at Bay College. And meet the Lions superfan that's been waiting decades for another playoffs game. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
We have more snow on the way tonight and into tomorrow that could affect people's commutes. Ariane, who's getting what today?
Yeah, and if you're looking at the weather cams right now, it looks pretty calm. All that activity is going to start early in the morning, as we'll see that into our Friday. So commutes that are going to be affected are going to be that northwest coast as well as the northeast coast. So Elger, Gogebic, Marquette, and Ontonagon counties. We could be seeing up to 9 inches of snowfall. Some gusty winds, nothing like what we saw the other couple of weeks, but could be up to 25 miles an hour. Snow showers right now hanging out between Marquette and Elger counties. I'll have more details on that as well as our weekend event planners.
Thank you very much, Ariane. New at 11, the Negaunee City Council passed a contentious rezoning ordinance amid strong support and opposition. The council voted in favor of rezoning 5 acres of the city's Old Town area near Snow Street from public use to residential for housing. The meeting was packed tonight with residents showing support and opposition to the move. Some were concerned that rezoning would damage Negaunee's recreational opportunities, while others believed it's a necessary step to promote growth and new development.
It's literally a playground for our community. Eliminating any portion of it, I think, as someone else mentioned, would be detrimental.
Yes, you need recreation, but you also need economic development to keep your city functioning.
Our plan is to move forward and work with those residents that were here this evening that may not have went the way they want to go, and find a good way, a happy medium of developing this property in the future.
The City Council plans to hold public hearings later this year to begin determining the next steps for the newly rezoned land. One of this weekend's competitions in the ski jumping tournament in Ishpeming is canceled. The junior tournament, which was scheduled for Sunday, is now called off. The tournament director says the heavy snow and frigid temperatures made it impossible to prepare the mountain for their competition. The 90-meter hill is ready to go. Opening ceremonies for the ski jumping tournament kick off tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Ticket information and a full schedule can be found at WZMQ19.com. A jury found a Dickinson County woman guilty of misdemeanor reckless endangerment today, stemming from a police chase last spring. Lana Vassar was also charged with felony third-degree fleeing and eluding, but was found not guilty on that charge. Vassar allegedly led police on a high-speed chase last April through the city of Kingsford. During her trial today, police testified Vassar was driving well above the posted speed limits through a residential area. The UP state representatives finished up their first full week back in Michigan's legislature tonight. The lawmakers from the 108th, 109th, and 110th districts say they're looking forward to working on a wide range of legislation in the coming months. Bills that aim to address shortages in the emergency medical workforce and within public schools, and to ease travel in the logging industry. As the House agenda gets busier, legislators say most of the work these first few months will take place in committees.
We're going to have committee tomorrow taking up an issue around water protection. It's really important, making sure that Michigan rules can be followed. And next week we'll have a full slate of committees again.
The EMS bills that I've been working on, I'm hopeful that those bills will proceed. I'm also been working on the K through 12 Narcan bill. That's to put Narcan in every single one of our K through 12 schools in Michigan.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer will be laying out her goals for the year next week during her State of the State address. You can watch that full event live right here at 7 p.m. next Wednesday, January 24th. This afternoon, an esteemed civil rights activist visited Bay College in Escanaba to share his story and honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. WZMQ's Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons has the story.
When we suffer for doing the right things, that suffering can transform the world.
In the 1960s, Lou Zuckman was one of the Freedom Riders, a group who occupied whites-only spaces like buses in protest of segregation. But his upbringing was an entirely different story.
I was not on a positive path in life. I probably never should have gotten out of my 20s.
Zuckman grew up in New York in an abusive home. He was arrested at the age of 13 and even became involved in organized crime at 19. His life took a turn when he joined the Freedom Riders in the South, advocating for equality, voter registration, and participating in the sit-in movement.
Fortunately, I had begun to realize there's another path in life. I don't have to be a monster.
Today, Zuckman also highlighted the teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during what would have been the week of his 95th birthday.
He didn't just speak about black people. He spoke about black, white, yellow, and brown. Why didn't anyone hear that?
Dr. King's story is for all of us. How important it is that we understand that we are connected, and when we don't, how destructive things can be. And if we look around the world today, we can see that we're not listening to Dr. King.
Zuckman continues to advocate for equality.
So much of the animosity in this country, whether it's white, black, or all the other isms that separate us, don't have to be.
And leads the largest youth program in the East Harlem and South Bronx communities, investing in the next generation of difference makers.
That I chose to be a Freedom Rider, I realized how much that helped save my life, and I hope other young people like me who are struggling can find that path for themselves.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
Iron Mountain High School's wrestling Dynamos are on another winning streak this season after boasting over a dozen state qualifiers last year. The team is now rallying for money to fuel their journey. The team's fundraising coordinator just announced a fundraiser that will be hosted by the Soul Blue Lounge February 2nd, right after school until 7 p.m. Central Time that night. She says it's a chance for the community to show support and even meet some of the wrestlers.
Do a 50-50 there and raffle off some baskets and have live wrestlers there to just meet and greet with all the customers. Any and all donations and proceeds will definitely go to the 2023-24 wrestling season.
We'll have details to the fundraiser on our website and mobile news app. Tune in tomorrow night to hear from the senior team members heading to the UP Finals this weekend. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break. Plus, why analysts say drivers could see some relief at the pump this year and just how low prices could get. And the Lions super fan who's been waiting for this moment for decades. We'll have this father and son story. We're back after this.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
It's time to clear out the showroom for Kirkish Furniture's January clearance sale. Find year-end savings in every department all month long. Furniture, mattresses, appliances, and flooring. Shop Kirkish Furniture's January clearance sale while supplies last.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget,
I trained with all the greats. The Pennsylvania Pummeler, the Scranton Scrapper, Kaiser Wilhelm. Come on!
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. New tonight on CBS.
Hey, what have you been doing up there?
Honey, only ask questions that you really want the answers to. Okay. And we get a reward for being such a nice guy.
As long as nice guys don't finish first.
A good guy, but he's got a big dilemma. 3 cars, a wife, are hanging up on his hands.
Oh my God, are we poor?
You are. We're doing very well.
The family's growing and it's only.
I know this might be too late to say, but I'm not sure we should have children.
The last man standing.
Oh, what are you dressed as?
Oh, farm girl.
E-I-E, I know.
He's the last man standing.
I wasn't always this good at this.
That's Jackson. That's Mike. We went to the mall.
Haters, gonna hate. Peace out.
On Last Man Standing. Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
So here's what we got on deck. We've got weather alerts, Superior lake effect snow showers. I'll show you where those are headed, and ski jumps and snowshoes. We've got some weekend events. All right, starting on Lake Superior, we've got freezing spray warning, 2 centimeters per hour or greater, and that goes into our Friday. We've got winter weather alerts. Let's start over on the west side here. Gogebic into Ontonagon counties. We'll expect the heaviest snow, of course, along that mountainous range here, but basically Ironwood up into the Porkies, as well as Bergland and Mass City up to 9 inches, and then just 1 to 3 south of that. But it could be a treacherous commute for you in the morning, especially along M28, because west of Munising towards Marquette County could see that heavy snow. So heads up, Autrain, and then just south, the southern part here of Marquette County, Republic down into McFarland could see 1 to 3 inches. Everyone else maybe up to 8. All this activity is going to start later on, basically early in our Friday morning. And then tonight into our Friday, we'll see these northwest winds kind of shift into a northeast wind belt. So hence these communities that are going to be seeing a lot more snow than the rest of the UP. Winds right now kind of hanging out of the north and a few gusts there from the west. And snow depth, we've got about 8 inches here in Marquette, 15 in Munising, 14 in Ontonagon, Houghton with 17 inches, and that will be changing as we get into our Friday. Like I mentioned, a lot of this activity starting in those early hours of our Friday. So if you've got to commute along the northwest or northeast coast between Marquette and Munising, make sure you're taking extra precautions, giving yourself some space between cars, and planning out for some slippery road conditions that could be possible. We'll see some snow showers as well, still coming off the lake into our Saturday. As you can see, Marquette County could see some very big snow depth. So I mentioned Autrain, heads up. We've got a temp of about 10 degrees at 9 a.m. Snow showers throughout the day. You could be seeing about 2 to 4 inches in that morning commute. So keep that in mind. And those wind chills are going to be a little bit chilly out there. Winter weather advisory going till 7 p.m. on our Friday night. Temperatures right now, we've got 1 over there in Ironwood. Everyone else a little bit warmer, close to about 15 degrees. Our highs tomorrow are going to be a little bit warmer than that, maybe up to 20 degrees. The past couple of hours, we've had lake effect snow showers between Marquette and Alger counties, maybe a little bit there in Schoolcraft and Luce. But like I said, we'll have lake effect snow continuing to hang out over that north coastline of Superior down south. You could see some sunshine even in our Saturday, though. We'll take a break from the snow and see a lot more sunshine. Let's take a quick look here at our 7-day outlook for Marquette. Wind chills continuing into our Friday and Saturday, and then we could see some flurries next week, warmer temperatures.
Thank you very much, Ariane. A Marquette County Winter Sports Club is getting back on track thanks to the cold weather this week. The UP Luge Club has opened Lucy Hill and Negaunee for public use, but is still working on the professional run. The track relies on low ground temperatures rather than large snow amounts. The club says with more help and grooming machines over the years, the runs have become that much more equipped for beginners and luge athletes.
And so now with the tractor, we can do the compaction as a mechanical means instead of people's feet. And with the wand, you can put out a nice wide base. It cools faster. I think we can make a smoother track.
The public track is open for use. Just head to WZMQ19.com where we have a link for tickets. Freezing temperatures this week are causing some issues for electric cars. In Chicago, dozens of Tesla owners were left stranded when their car batteries died and some charging stations weren't working. Taj Mahal spoke to EV drivers in Milwaukee to see how they're navigating the cold.
For electric vehicle owners, knowing how far you can travel before you need a charge is really important. But in these extreme cold temperatures, that can be a little tricky.
It's been a little bit difficult and unexpected.
That's how Candace Watson describes her first winter as an electric vehicle owner. She and other Tesla drivers camped out at this charging location in Greenfield told us they've noticed shorter battery life.
It uses a lot of battery power when it's colder, and I just wasn't expecting that.
We know from past research that cold weather can significantly affect the battery life and range of EVs.
Experts at AAA say temps lower than 20 degrees can reduce the range of an EV by up to 40%.
That's a pretty significant change, and it's different than internal combustion engines.
Cold weather also affects your battery in a traditional vehicle, but in a different way.
But once you do get it started, your engine is recharging the battery as you go. Obviously, with EVs, the battery is fully powering the vehicle the whole way, so that effect of the cold weather stays with you even once you get going.
Adam Murphy, another EV driver, says he's experienced the headaches the cold weather can cause.
My car on a 70-degree day on the freeway gets about 280 to 300 miles. If it's 40 degrees, it probably drops down to about 220 miles. So you lose about 25%. When it's 0, I might lose 30% of my battery life.
Despite this, Murphy says EVs still come with lots of benefits, and eventually, car makers will produce more efficient batteries to keep up with bitter temperatures.
There's technology that we need and software that we need to change, and the manufacturers will figure that out over time.
In the meantime, EV drivers are encouraged to keep their vehicles on a charger and out of the bitter cold for long periods of time.
Meanwhile, experts are predicting this year we'll be paying less for gas at the pumps. In Gas Buddy's 2024 fuel outlook, they expect an overall drop in gas prices, but other influences could impact that. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp has the report.
In the past couple of years, drivers have felt the pain at the pumps. In 2022, drivers dealt with record high prices. Last year, those prices cooled off a bit. But this year,
if you add it up, you're going to be paying slightly less at the pump in 2024 as you did in 2023. So a little bit of savings.
Experts at Gas Buddy believe the yearly national average will be about 13 cents a gallon lower this year than last year.
We continue to see COVID and Russia's war in Ukraine fade more into the rear view, and some of the shock waves and some of the imbalances brought on by both of those continue to subside. The Federal Reserve has continued to raise interest rates to cool off growth that has also cooled off gasoline demand. That's part of the reason why prices are lower.
They also contribute the lower costs from the record high U.S. oil production. There are also unpredictable factors that could impact prices for the better.
The biggest development potentially could be if Russia ends its war in Ukraine. If there's a truce or a peace deal, Russia is a major oil producer, so their war in Ukraine has had a major impact on the global price of oil. And if that is something that fades into the rear view, we could see additional relief there.
Or for worse.
Things like what's happening in the Middle East, the Houthi attacks in the Red Sea are something to keep an eye on.
Overall, experts say gas prices are very seasonal and will change throughout the year.
They're lowest in the winter, they start rising in the spring, they're higher in the summer, and then they start to fall again in the fall.
In Washington, D.C., Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
The Detroit Lions take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend in the NFC Divisional Championship. WZMQ Scott Minshall shares the story of a father and son duo from Ishpeming who will make the journey to watch them play, the same journey they've made countless times.
Steve Paulson, or Duff as he prefers to be called, was at the Lions' playoff win 32 years ago. That game he watched from the nosebleeds. This one from the front row.
I really cherished this one a lot more.
Paulson's late father and brother were also Lions fanatics and attended the playoff victory in 1991. While they weren't able to see Detroit's latest success, Paulson says their memory made it to the stands.
I kept looking up at his section, during the game once in a while.
For Duff, the Lions are a way of life. He doesn't fish or hunt. His passion is attending football games to cheer on Detroit, something he's passed on to his son, Preston.
Started going in 1998 was my first game. It was the Lions versus the Bengals. They lost in overtime on a pick six, pretty dramatic fashion, but here we are still today. Long journey, but it's been fun.
Preston has taken the family's Lions fandom to a whole new level. His house can only be described as a museum to him and his father's favorite team.
There's a bunch of grass still intact on both of them. That's probably one of my favorite pieces right here.
Over the years, the Paulsons have developed personal relationships with players,
Tony Scheffler signed to me,
coaches, and other fans. But the most important relationship being made was the bond and irreplaceable memories between this father and son.
So yeah, it makes me soak up every little bit of it. We don't four-wheel, we don't have all that stuff. We don't have a camp, but this is what we do.
It's easy to say Saturday will just be a football game. But when you see a family like the Paulsons and a home like Preston's, it's hard to say that this particular game doesn't mean more. Scott Minshall, WZMQ 19 News.
The Lions kick off against the Bucs in Detroit Sunday at 3 p.m. More sports is on the way next. Mike, what do you have tonight?
Well, we'll take a look at some high school basketball games. Marquette on a back-to-back gets Sault Ste. Marie. Highlights of that.
I trained with all the greats, the Pennsylvania Pummeler, the Scranton Scrapper, Kaiser Wilhelm. Come on!
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, new tonight on CBS. Who will be there when there are voices that need to be heard? Who will be there when amazing rises up? Or a need for a warning comes falling down? Who will be our ears and our eyes? Will you? Start a career in the broadcasting industry. There's a whole world of opportunities waiting for you, whether it's on air as an anchor or reporter, or behind the scenes as a producer, engineer, sales rep, or more. Our close-knit team brings the truth to light, elevates voices, responds in times of need, encourages diversity, and builds community. Come be there as history unfolds to deliver the news, the information, and the entertainment that Michigan needs. Bring your talents and creativity to the broadcasting industry. Be there. Go to BeThereMichigan.com to get started.
Come on down to Outdoor Man.
When do I get to shoot the crossbows?
We're breaking the rules.
So you're 13, I don't even think it's legal. So we should do it after lunch.
Our camping department is intense.
Set it up in 30 seconds flat. You can take it down even faster.
And we're always family friendly.
He's adorable. Listen, we found a bear cub in here.
Been nice knowing you, Baxter.
Outdoor Man is open for business on Last Man Standing.
Watching Andy Griffith has one result.
Makes you feel good, don't it? Kind of a warm feeling right in the middle of your stomach, your head 2 or 3 feet above your shoulders. You know why you're feeling that way, don't you, boy?
'Cause I'm pooped.
The Andy Griffith Show, weeknights at 8 on MeTV 19.1.
Good evening, everyone. The 4th-ranked Marquette boys basketball team needed to dig a little deeper tonight after Rich Leedy's team dropped 3rd-ranked Menominee 64-55 last night in Menominee. Marquette had to turn around and face Sault Ste. Marie this evening. Sioux coach Mike Fitzner ready to get this one going, and we'll start in the first quarter. Wyatt Lakenin inside that Jacob McPhee. He gets position, bullies his way to the basket. No, padding that offensive rebound statistic, gets it up and in, and it's 2-0. Off the Blue Devils miss, Jack Quinnell with a long bounce pass to Kyler Sager. He makes the layup. That makes it 6-0 Marquette after nearly 3 minutes. And Sager was not done. McPhee with the pass, a couple feet behind the arc, and knocks that one down. 12-5 eventually, timeout Blue Devils. Then the Sioux breaks the press. Caden Lujan finds Nate Kep for the layup, and the Blue Devils are within 12-7. Sioux gets a couple steals in the first quarter. Talon Thomas home with the bucket off of this one. Marquette still led 19-14 after 1. To the second, Sioux breaks it again. John Gravel, Easton Fitzner will get the jumper, and another Fitzner hoop gave the Sioux a 27-25 lead. Marquette responded late in the second quarter. Ford Richardson to Michael Couture. Nice fake. Baseline jumper is true. Blue Devils up 29-27 at the half, but Marquette roars back in the second half to take this one 68-46. Meanwhile, over in Ishpeming, it is Gwynn and the Hematites, and Hunter Smith will get the pass right here, puts it up and in, and the Hematites are on the board first. Next for Ishpeming, a deep three from Caden Loma, just 30 seconds later makes it 5-0. Wayton Sales will knock one down here for the black and gold, get Gwynn on the board. But Ben Rubik will dish to Loma once again, carries it all the way down for the score and the foul. Ishpeming your winner tonight, 48-27. On the scoreboard, maybe the scoreboard, there it is. Iron Mountain doubles up Manistee 72-36, Kingsford 75, North Dickinson 33. It was Alex Ortman scoring 32 for Norway. The Knights beat the Bobcats of Florence 67-56. Jeffers Easley over Uintral Creek 70-30. It was Ontonagon Baraga 55, Ontonagon 28. Jamie Denemy had 25 for the Vikings. Blue Bolts 5 points better than Ironwood 46-41. The Chassell Panthers get a victory, 58-45 over Lance. Bark River Harris a dozen better than Rapid River, 57-45. Eli Dannison had 29, by the way, for the Chassell Panthers. St. Ignace doubles up +3. Sheboygan did not hear from Pickford and Cedarville. And Rudyard apparently had way too much fun over Engadine, 78-12. On the girls' side, just 6 games tonight, if I counted correctly. Houghton over West Iron, 71-49. Uintral Creek drops Jeffers, 39-12. Lakeland and Hubble gets to 81. That's better than Bessemer's 45. Ironwood 43, Dollar Bay 29. It was Ontonagon's pair of 4s being better than Chassell's pair of 3s. And Forest Park over Stevenson, 59-50. GLIAC basketball, the NMU men get their 10th win in a row, 82-78 over Purdue Northwest. Brian Parzik and Max Weisbrod combined for 47. The NMU women also win 76-62. JC Weisbrod had 24, career high. McKaylee Kuhn had 20. And Purdue Northwest, Forest Park's Mercedes Simmons had 21 points, 8 rebounds, and a couple blocks. Michigan Tech men over Wisconsin Parkside, 78-71. Marcus Tomaszek had 32 points. Houghton grad Brad Simonson knocked down 6. The women, rough one to the Rangers, 80-41. Bella Lenz had 15. On the Lake Superior State side of things, the men over Grand Valley State, 91-55. 4 players in double figures for the Sault Ste. Marie team. Grand Valley State outscored Lake State 46-9 in the second half, 69-25 Lakers there. All right, Big Ten basketball, let's go. Minnesota and Michigan State to East Lansing. Crowd not into it yet, but they would be, and with good reason. A.J. Hogart to Carson Cooper for the big time jam. Spartans up 8, but the Gophers would lead early in the second half. Malik Hall throws it down with authority. He went over the 1,000-point mark for his career, 16 points and 12 rebounds. Jaden Atkins will get to the rack for the hoop here. Tyson Walker led the Spartans with 21, and Michigan State goes on to win this one, 76-66. Illinois beat Michigan 88-73. On the board, Iron Mountain's Foster Wonder scored 17 for Wisconsin Green Bay, defeating Wright State 88-81. And in wrestling, a double dual down in Escanaba, the Eskimos win twice over Kingsford and Westwood. And in the other half, it was Nagani getting a win and Kingsford as well. And we will be right.
It's time to clear out the showroom for Kirkish Furniture's January clearance sale. Find year-end savings in every department all month long. Furniture, mattresses, appliances, and flooring. Shop Kirkish Furniture's January clearance sale while supplies last.
January is Custom Month at Richardson Jewelers, downtown Marquette. In January, we'll waive our $395 design fee. Custom Month at Richardson Jewelers, downtown Marquette.
Richardson Jewelers.
This is home, it's where we get along. This is home, and together we're strong. Whoa, this
Baxter Family Survival Guide.
Dad, you taught us to be self-sufficient.
And yet you're all still here.
Rule number 1, expect the unexpected.
You want money, maybe you should do what other people do.
Get my own reality show. Dad, I'm trying.
Rule number 2, learn to adapt.
You're gonna use a glass, right?
Fine, hand me the big one.
Rule number 3, stand your ground.
You know, when we got married, I thought I was a smart one.
Last man standing.
Current weather is radar, is showing those snow showers hanging out here in Marquette and Alger counties. And what a surprise. That's where we've got winter weather advisories going until 7 p.m. as well as the northwest coast here where we could see up to 9 inches and some higher terrain. We've got the ski jumping tournament happening Friday and Saturday. Some snow, of course, on our Friday, but Saturday it looks like those snow showers will eventually slow down. Wind could be a factor on the Friday, maybe a little bit on Saturday morning, and then stop the snow over in Iron Mountain. Goes from 4 to 7. Those temperatures really dropping down at the end of that event. So make sure you are bundled up and prepared for those conditions. 7-day outlook for Escanaba will be chilly tomorrow, a little bit cool this weekend before we see some sunshine and warmer temperatures coming next week.
Finally tonight, the city of Escanaba is making it easier for residents to stay active and enjoy the outdoors this winter. The Catherine Boniface Civic Center offers free snowshoe rentals available for 48 hours at a time. The Civic Center has 20 pairs with sizes ranging from 20 to 36. Although the snow is a little bit light down there at the moment, the Westside Recreation Trail features several miles designated for snowshoeing. The city is also planning to put a figure 8 in Ludington Park for snowshoers and cross-country skiers.
Knows that the UP is cold in the winter, so this is just an activity that people can get out and enjoy the cold weather and enjoy the snow. Last year it was very popular. We had 16 pairs. We got 4 additional pairs through a grant from Public Health of Delta Menominee counties. It's just a lighter activity that people can do.
Snowshoes must be checked out by someone 18 or older with a valid ID. Snowshoeing is such a workout too.
I'm exhausted just thinking about
That's
it.
true.
But it is fun.
Yeah. That's it for today.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar.